one's Aisha. Everyone in my family thinks entrepreneurship's too risky. I'm starting to doubt myself. How do I deal with criticism when the people closest to me don't believe in my vision? All right, so Aisha, the dream killers in your family are almost always the people in the cheap seats, right? The ones who never had the courage to step into the arena themselves. And sometimes those people are sitting with you at the dinner table. So I don't think you can expect people who have chosen a life of security to necessarily understand your life of ambition. It's like trying to describe color to someone who's blind. They're just not speaking your language, and you need to stop looking for their approval because I don't think you're ever gonna get it, right? So in my opinion, here's what you do. You're gonna create a new sort of internal board of directors for your life, and you're going to sort of fire the family members who fill you with doubt, right? You still love them, but their opinion on your business is no longer welcome. I think you're gonna hire new voices, right? And these are the authors of the books you read, right? The hosts of the podcasts that you listen to in your car, right? The mentors who you follow online. I think you need to surround yourself with the voices of people who've actually done what you're trying to do. And eventually, right, their belief will drown out the doubt from the people, right? The people we talked about maybe at your dinner table who haven't, right? The people who haven't stepped into the arena, who haven't become entrepreneurs, who haven't tried, succeeded, failed, right? And then kept going. So your vision is yours, in other words, it's not theirs. So stop defending it and just start building it. The next one's Layla. I'm a full-time entrepreneur with a cleaning business and 2 little kids. I feel guilty about putting them in daycare every day. How do I buy back my time without sacrificing growth? So Layla, I think the guilt that you have about daycare is a luxury that you really can't afford. And I want to do the math for you, right? It's either emotions or logic. Right here, let's get to the logic, right? I want you to calculate what 1 hour of your time focused, right? Uninterrupted work on your business is actually worth, right? The sales call that you can make, the systems that you can build out. Let's say it's, $200 an hour. Now, what does an hour of high quality daycare cost? $20, $30. Every hour that you spend with your kids because of that guilt, instead of putting them in daycare, is costing your business, $170. You're not saving the daycare fee. You're making the single most expensive, by the way, low ROI decision possible. You're trading $200 for an hour for a $30 hour. You want to buy back your time. I get that and I respect that, but you don't do it by sacrificing your growth. You do it by investing in systems that create growth for you. And right now, the highest ROI system that you can invest in is childcare. Don't get emotional about this. Pay for the help. Use that time to build a business that's so successful that you eventually buy back all of your time. You'll be with your kids on your own terms, not because you were afraid to make this a smart investment. My business is growing, but my marriage is struggling because I'm never home. How do you scale a company without losing your family in the process? Mark, contrary to popular belief, your business is not your most important asset. Your marriage is. And I think if you let your business kill your marriage, you will have failed no matter how much money you ultimately make, right? You need to treat your marriage with the same sort of ruthless intentionality as you do with your business. So here are 2 non-negotiable rules that I think you need to implement tonight. Number 1 is the hard stop, right? You're gonna pick a time of the day, could be 6 p.m., and that's your hard stop, right? Laptop closes, phone goes on silent. You're no longer the CEO. You're a husband. You're an attentive father. There will always be more work. It never stops, right? Slacks, emails, texts, no end. But your family's trust is not infinite. And rule number 2, it's the CEO meeting, right? You are going to schedule a weekly 1-hour CEO meeting with your wife. I know it sounds weird, but stay with me. No kids, no distractions, and you're gonna discuss the business of your family, the finances, the calendar, the goals. And you're gonna treat her, rightfully so, as the co-CEO of your life that she is. And when she feels like a partner in the mission, instead of an obstacle to your work, that's when the entire dynamic changes, right? Your business needs your focus, no doubt, but your family, it needs your presence. So don't be the fool who builds an empire in an empty castle. I want to be present for my kids, but I also want to build something big. What systems can I set up now so I'm not forced to choose between family and growth? All right, Sophia, the idea of a work-life balance is a trap, right? It's a fantasy that sets you up for constant failure. You cannot balance them. Instead, I would argue you have to integrate them, right? So here's a system that's worked for some of the most successful entrepreneurs that I know. And it's just called an asymmetrical work week. So right now you're probably thinking in terms of like 9 to 5, right? But I want you to stop that. There's no 9 to 5, Monday through Friday schedule. That's an employee's schedule. You are an owner. Your work week has to look different. You're gonna have 2 deep work days, let's say Tuesday and Thursday. And on those days, you are a machine. You are ruthless. You schedule 10 to 12 hours of intense, uninterrupted, focused work. Childcare maxed out, you are 100% the CEO. But on the other, let's say 3 days, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, right? You're 100% the mom. You work in short, sort of 2-hour sprints while the kids are napping or on a play date. You take them to the park, you are present. Put this away. And I think the asymmetry allows you to go deep on both. Focus growth on your business and then put this away, present time with your family. You stop trying to be a mom and a CEO in the same hour. You can be both in the same week, but you can't be it in the same hour. Stop chasing this false equivalency. There is none. Stop chasing balance. Start designing your week. And the last one, Ethan, I built a $2 million company in construction, but I'm exhausted. How do I turn it into a business that runs without me so I can focus on my health and my family? You've built a business that is completely and utterly dependent upon you. You are the hero in your story. And that's why you're exhausted. And your only job right now, you gotta fire yourself. You need to spend the next year obsessed with one thing and one thing only: building the systems and hiring the people to replace you. You need to create the Ethan construction playbook for everything. How do you bid a job? How do you manage a site? How you invoice and collect from a client? Document your genius, Ethan. And then you hire a project manager or an operations lead whose only job is to run Ethan's playbook. Your new job is to not swing a hammer, right? It's to work on the business, not in the business. And it's going to be the hardest thing that you've ever done. I promise you that, because your ego right now is so tied up being the guy that everybody comes to with questions, right? Ethan's got all the answers, but it's the only way to win back your health, your family, everything else that's so much more important.
Now, if this message landed for you, don't let it end there. Click here and watch the next video where I break down how a relatively small player, Zoom, absolutely destroyed Microsoft Skype. You know, it's a story about speed, simplicity, and leverage. You're gonna see how little guys win big when they don't get distracted. Let's scale smarter. Let's go.